Hey everybody, it's the coach, and this is Madden 19 on EA Sports. Up next, we've got what should be an intriguing matchup between the New Orleans Saints and the Jacksonville Jaguars. With that, let's get on up to Jacksonville. Standing by for the call, it's our broadcast team of Brandon Godden and Charles Davis.
All right, Coach, EA Sports coverage of the NFL brings us to the Sunshine State in TIAA Bank Field here in Jacksonville. Nothing like the fanfare of introductions to an NFL game, and that was in evidence a moment ago. Fireworks, pyrotechnics, you name it. This crowd is ready as their guys get set to match up between the New Orleans Saints and the Jacksonville Jaguars. Alongside my partner, Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Godden. Charles, you look at this Jaguar team. They were winners last time out, so they'll be looking, Charles, to make it 2 in a row.
And what I enjoyed when I watched their game tape and their victory last week is they put it together in every phase. Good offense, good defense, and some key plays on special teams. Let's see if they can get that second win in a row.
Meanwhile, for the visiting Saints, they come in riding high, just 1 loss in their last 7 games.
It's a very focused team, very disciplined. They've kept the penalties to a minimum, and they're winning football games.
The shadow's starting to get a bit longer. Week 10 of the NFL season is here, and we're underway on EA Sports. So here's the first drive now for the Jags. Leading the charge is the UCF product who hails from right there in the Orlando area in Altamont Springs, Blake Bortles.
And his stat line last week, that's not going to get him to the Pro Bowl. All right, no touchdowns, no interceptions, but they won. And so the bottom line for him is team won, managed the game effectively, led them to victory. He's doing all the right things.
A first carry for Leonard Fournette. And he will lose yardage here back at the 23-yard line. That's going to go as a loss of 2, and it'll be second down.
Nice play right there to stop him behind the line, but I want to see how this defense continues to play him here in the first half.
Yeah, we know, you know better than I, he has the ability to take over a game. So what do you do?
Yeah, I think you have to make sure that you bottle him in at varying levels, because if you crowd everyone to the line of scrimmage, if he breaks through, it's nothing but room to run.
First play of the drive goes the wrong way. Here's 2nd and 12.
Green 80! Green 80!
A fake to Fournette. Now it's Bortles to throw. Blitz coming, and down he goes.
Brandon, if I'm an offensive coordinator and I see an all-out rush like that, I file it away because I'm going to use their aggressiveness against them as this game goes on. I'm going to hit them with a screen soon.
Following the sack, 3rd and long for Bortles and the Jags.
Green 80!
Working from the gun, it's Bortles. Pressure gets to him, and down he goes. Back at the 4-yard line. Manti Te'o in there to drop him for his 5th sack of the year. Man, he got in there so quickly, Charles. What could the offense have done to adjust and account for that?
But what you're hoping is that you figure out and you see and get a clue that maybe there's going to be some pressure coming at you, and you change the blocking schemes. Maybe you go to max protection. The biggest one is maybe you bring your running back in to try and keep you clean. But in that case, that didn't happen. 0 accountability, and a sack resulted.
And the Jaguars send out their punter. And no room for error here as his first punt comes from deep in his own end zone. Taking it about the 36. An excellent return that time, 26 yards. And the Saints will have a short field in front of them. They take over here, 1st and 10. So here are the Saints now with great starting field position. And trotting out there, their tall quarterback standing at 6'5".
And this could be a whole lot of fun because if his game plan goes into effect early, we're going to see some shots downfield, aren't we? What did he talk to us about? Stretching the field. Wants to open things up for not just his receivers, but for anything underneath.
Well, that was the theme, the front page of the sports section, where the columnists write, possible air raid. So we'll see.
Yeah, it's going to be interesting to see how the coaches view that, right? Who gave away the game plan? I think it's pretty obvious, though. That'll help them win.
They'll come out throwing here to start the drive. Quick hitter here, it's complete. And this time not quite to the 30. It'll be down at the 31-yard line. 7 yards, the pickup on the pitch and catch.
Well, if you do read man coverage, Brandon, the drag route's a pretty good one to run against it because you're running away from people on it.
Able to get 7 on that first down pass play. 2nd and 3.
Now let's go. Green 39. Green 39. Black 99 Philly. Here we go.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And inside the 20 before he's brought down. These are his numbers from last week's contest. 22 carries, 81 yards, and a touchdown.
They've got a nice scheme going right now, and they run the football pretty well. In fact, I was talking with him on the field before the game, and he said he's starting to hear from the guys ahead of him on the rushing yardage total, and they want to know if he's going to jump up there and join them at the top of the list.
A first opportunity upcoming in the red zone for the Saints. They have a 1st and 10 at the 18. Now with just 1 second showing on the play clock, we're going to get a timeout. They'll have 2 remaining as we step aside here in this first quarter. Right back to him on 1st down. And they'll lose yardage here. Knocked back to the 19-yard line. It's a loss of a yard there, and now 2nd down.
And the big fella stuffed that one up in a big way. I think doubling him has to be a priority because you can't move up to the next level if you don't take care of him first.
Hurry up, here we go. Blue line.
And on the ground they go with the running back. Malik Jackson there to make the stop. And the big boys up front in the trenches. What do you think of the O-line, Charles?
I love them because this is a group that's so cohesive. They know what the man next to them is going to do at all times, and they operate as a terrific unit.
And on 3rd down, a nickel formation here defensively.
Hurry up, here we go. Blue 90. Blue 90.
Back to throw. He dropped it. Couldn't hang on in the end zone. So no 6 points, incomplete.
The beauty of being able to play a zone defense when you can sit back and see the ball coming out of the quarterback's hands, guess what? Creates a lot of confusion, kind of a muddle in the middle of the field where you go make a play on the football.
And Lutz puts this one through. And the Saints are going to take a 3-0 lead. So the drive stalls out inside the 15-yard line, but they do get 3.
And I've talked with enough players nowadays that when they have these types of kicks, that no one says to their guy, hey, that's just like making an extra point, piece of cake. Because the extra point is not a piece of cake anymore. But kicking a field goal from that distance, just give him confidence and let him knock it through.
Following the made field goal, Lutz to kick it away. The Jaguars getting set to go. And on the last go-around, they really couldn't get anything going.
They had to punt from deep inside their own territory, which means you're going to lose the field position battle as a general rule. What they're looking for now is a little more consistency, move the ball at least a few times on offense, get a couple of first downs, and hopefully flip the field. Yeah,
just something to build off of. That's what they're looking for here. Bortles leads the Jags up 1st and 10 at their own 25-yard line.
Set. Green 80.
They'll start out on the ground. It's Leonard Fournette. And he'll wind up with about 6 up past the 30 to the 31. The rushing numbers for Fournette from last week, 20 carries, 68 yards, and a touchdown.
And well-liked by his teammates. In fact, I got on good authority, even though I'm not an investigative reporter, that in their team meeting this week, the offensive line stood up and said, Coach, we've got to have better yardage for this guy. He's number 9 in the league. He's got to be in the top 3 before the season's over. Let's run the ball.
They'll come up now 2nd and 4 from the 31.
Green 80. Green 80.
Now Bortles throwing on 2nd down. And he's taken down here by the Saints. And that is the 3rd sack this offensive line has allowed this first quarter.
Yeah, that puts him on pace. Let me do the rudimentary math here. To be sacked 12 times in a game, I know he's not going to go for that. I wonder if it's going to reshape what they decide to do on offense in terms of play calling.
Well, I can tell you what, when he popped up, shaking his head, frustrated right now behind center. Following the sack, 3rd and long for Bortles and the Jags.
Set. Green 80.
From the gun, it's Bortles. And he finds Safarian Jenkins. And they're able to get this one across the 35.
Completion was given up, but that's why you play zone defense, so that you can have people around the ball when it's caught, and you don't give up much run after the catch.
So from the 36 now, 1st and 10.
3 down. Green 80.
Fournette, a first down carry. And he will lose yardage back to the 34-yard line. A loss of a full 3 yards, and now it's 2nd down.
I like the strategy. Extra tight ends, extra beef. They want to run the football, but that means they probably want to run it inside. If you get strung out on the perimeter, you're in peril.
Yeah, we saw the result, negative yardage.
Green 80.
Bortles to throw on second down. And a big loss here as he's taken down.
The amount of sacks that they've absorbed in this game is absolutely extraordinary. Let's just face it. This offensive line, flat out, cannot handle this pass rush. It's been demonstrated time and time again.
Following the sack, 3rd and long for Bortles and the Jags.
Green 80. Green 80.
Shotgun now for Bortles. Looking deep downfield. So they took a shot there on 3rd down, couldn't get it. Now it's 4.
Well, we quit counting yardage on that one, didn't we? That was truly 3rd and a mile, wasn't it?
It was. I thought they might just go underneath, but they didn't. They wanted to get the 1st down there.
Yeah, they tried to pick up the huge chunk unsuccessfully. I'm with you. I would have tried to take some yardage just to gain some field position.
And the Jaguars send out their punter as he'll kick it away for the 2nd time. Taken from just outside the 30. A nice job on the return there, 16 yards. And the Saints will take over with a 1st down and 10. And now the Saints get set to trot out there. And, Charles, if the season ended today, and it's not going to, we still have December left.
More football.
We're only in November. But they would be a wild card team. And that's great. They'd be in the playoffs, but you know they're trying to bump up to be one of those division leaders.
That guarantees you at least one home game in the playoffs, and that's what you're really seeking. But there also isn't much margin for error for this team, right? Because right where they're sitting, a 2-game losing streak could have them out of the playoffs, so they've got to make sure they continue to keep the momentum going.
Absolutely. There's some sharks smelling blood in the water behind them. They'll try and start this drive in the air. Over the middle, open is Thomas. And he'll work it across midfield inside the 45. The drive starting with a 1st down, 11 yards on that pickup.
I always laugh when people say, what's the toughest route to defend? And I'm like, any of them, especially if it's a good receiver. That makes things very difficult. But when you're running a drag route, something short, shallow, going through defenders, using guys almost as screens in order to get open, that makes things tough for guys trying to get to the football.
Down, he'll drop to throw. Man open left side is Brown. And he'll get it down on the play to the 37. The starters defensively now for Jacksonville. This crew against the pass, issues at times. Ranked number 24, Charles, in the NFL.
They're in the bottom 10 in the league. I mean, when you look at their talent, you would think that they'd be much better. Overall, I don't think there's any question you'd have to say that they've underachieved.
Second and 5 after the 5-yard completion on 1st down.
Set! Blue 90! Blue 90!
And they'll try the ground game here with the running back. Touchdown, New Orleans! A great play there. Hitting double digits with his 10th touchdown of the season. And the Saints add on to their lead.
Well, partner, that was another explosive run. And one thing I've learned in our time in this game, yes, the offensive line has to get a lot of credit. But for big runs to occur, the wide receivers have to block well downfield.
And then you have to have a good guy carrying the ball too, right?
Oh, without a doubt. You need that difference maker lugging the rock.
Will Lutz on for the point after. Lutz with the extra point, and the lead grows to 10-0. Scoring summary, 3-play drive. And the finishing touch was that nice long run into the end zone. Lutz now to kick this one away. This is taken about 7 yards deep. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. And here is Blake Bortles as we focus in on him for our players spotlight. And he has not really been able to have a lot of comfort back there in the pocket. Pressure's been coming at him a lot, hasn't it?
And they've got to figure out how to tamp down that pressure. How do they decrease it? Is it getting rid of the football quicker? You know, shorter drops? Maybe they do something different with their pass blocking and their protection schemes. Maybe you meet them on the line of scrimmage instead of retreating to try and protect your quarterback. They've got to figure something out, though, because you cannot let your guy get hit that much, not if you intend to win.
Yeah, I know they'd like to erase that video and those 4 sacks that they've seen so far. And he'll fight forward to about the 27-yard line. Tackle is made by Cameron Jordan. And this offensive unit should have a lot of juice coming off the big output that they had 1 week ago.
Nothing like confidence, is there? When you've played well the week before, you can't wait to get back on the field and do it again.
They'll break the huddle, come up on 2nd and 8 at the 27-yard line. On 2nd down, here's Bortles. Guys man complete over the middle. That's Sullivan. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. His first catch, good for 14 there and a first down. And, boy, they had high praise for this rookie receiver when we asked the coaches about him, didn't they?
They certainly did, and obviously they liked his measurables. Otherwise, they wouldn't have brought him onto the team. Height, weight, speed, all of that. But how about what they really said? Competitiveness. That's what they really liked about him. The way he goes after the football, competes for it, and decides when it's in the air, it's his and only his.
Bortles on the give before that. And he'll be brought down, losing yardage back at the 40. That's going to go as a loss of a yard, and it'll be 2nd down.
We think, Brandon, I like the intensity this defense is showing right here in these first few drives. They're not just holding the line because they're doing their job, but they're doing more than that, aren't they? They're getting a nice push into the offensive backfield.
And a great example right there for the loss on the tackle. And before they can get settled in here, time expires on the first quarter of action. Plenty of scoring here already. More from Jacksonville after this.
The NFL on EA Sports is fueled by Gatorade, the sports fuel company.
Alongside the former defensive back Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaudin. It's Jaguar football as we begin quarter number 2, but they face a 2nd and long to start things out. They'll run it now out of the gun. Stays on his feet. And another tackle broken. 5 yards on the carry there, and it leaves him with third and about 6 yards to go.
One thing to keep in mind, partner, especially in the second half, when you've got a running back of this size and these dimensions, I can just tell you, attrition does set in for a defense because you're excited about hitting him in the first half. Maybe not so much in the second half, and some of these shorter gains turn into bigger runs later.
Green 80.
Throwing his Bortles on third down. And complete over the middle, Safarian Jenkins. And he'll get it into enemy territory just across midfield at the 49.
So much about offense is what you call hidden yardage. You know, you throw the ball to someone, they catch it, and then they can make a big play. You know, they create a play, run after catch. They did a really nice job there of limiting that and keeping him from a first down.
Now stopped him in his tracks. Just 34 yards on the punt there, no return. And the Saints will take over with a 1st and 10 deep in their own territory. The Saints coming out now to take the field. They're starting to put some space here. You know, first quarter, they didn't look so hot offensively. This second quarter, though, they've looked really good.
They've jumped in the saddle in a big way now, and now they're in full gallop. I mean, before, kind of cantering around a little bit, right, trying to feel their way, not getting done what they wanted to. But somehow they put it together with play calling, execution, and now there's a pretty big gap.
And they'll look to make that gap even bigger here.
Let's go. 3-19. 3-19.
They'll come out throwing here on first down. Throwing over the middle, and it's incomplete. Jalen Ramsey right there in coverage to knock it away.
Love his pocket awareness, able to slip out of the sack. But once you take your eyes off the receivers, once your eyes come down and you see the rush, hard to get back downfield and find an open target. Fortunate, that one just wound up as an incomplete pass.
Here they come, 2nd and 10 now from the 10.
All right, here we go. Green 39. Green 39.
And they'll run it here. They get 6 here after the incompletion, and it'll leave them with a 3rd and 4.
I think we can safely say that those types of plays are the backbone of this offense. We know not every run's going to be a big hitter, but you know they'll take that type of result on each and every attempt.
And the Jags have 5 in the secondary here on 3rd down.
Hurry up, here we go. 3-19. 3-19.
They'll look to throw. And he couldn't hang on to it through the contact. Incomplete.
I know at times people think we use it too often, but you've got to be able to throw guys open. And when you read zone, you've got to stick it in there before your receiver gets to the next guy in the zone. Otherwise, you bring him into the play.
And that's precisely what allowed that defense to disrupt the pass. He was only asked to punt once in the victory last week as he sends this one away. That's pulled in at the 32. It'll be a 48-yard punt. 5 there on the return. And the Jaguars go on offense, 1st down and 10. And here is Blake Bortles as we focus in on him for our players spotlight. He's playing pretty well. I don't think it's necessarily him changing up something he's doing, but that O-line, they've got to protect him better.
They do. They've got to make sure that they give him more than enough time in order to find targets downfield. And sometimes what happens when these things are going on is that the field general will step up and say, hey, that's on me, guys. I didn't get rid of it fast enough. Anything to try and relax them a little bit and take some pressure off because they do know that they are trying.
Yeah, well, we've seen the 4 sacks so far in this contest. Throwing the out route incomplete. It's Sullivan.
Holding offense.
Well, your QB's been sacked 4 times in the game already, and they're the holding call.
And you know darn well the offensive line coach is frustrated and upset that he's been hit that many times already. He doesn't really care that they hold now. Just don't let him get hit anymore.
380. 380.
Now a play fake here on 1st down. That one complete to D.D. Westbrook. And he'll be taken down, but not before they work it across midfield. That one goes for 24 yards. Well, clearly one of his advantages as a passer is his height. Sit back in the pocket, fired over the middle. That makes things tougher defensively, doesn't it?
It really does, because your goal is to move the quarterback off his initial spot when he gets his drop back completed. But when you have that type of height, he can stay in there. If he's willing to take the hits and just fire over the top, which saves... gives him time and actually completes a play a little bit quicker than it normally does for a quarterback who has to slide and find open space to throw.
Green 80. Green 80. 56, Mike, 56. Green is it.
On 1st and 10, here's Bortles. And to the tight end here, Safarian Jenkins. And he's going to be taken down here with a penalty flag on the field.
Holding offense.
So a decent game,
Still
but
first down.
not on the penalty.
It's too bad, isn't it? They were feeling pretty good about it. I think people celebrating, the guys who just gave up that play.
They're backed up here with a 1st and 20 now after the holding penalty.
Green 80.
Bortles now to throw. Throwing the out route and complete. That's Cole. Man, he'll be brought down just shy of midfield at the 49-yard line. 7 yards the pickup on the pitch and catch.
Let's go. Green 80. Green 80.
To throw, it's Bortles. A throw left side, complete to his receiver, Westbrook. And he'll get it down here to the 43. 8 yards on the completion, but now they face 3rd down. In need of a conversion on 3rd down. They had the big play to start the drive. Not much sense.
Green 80. Green 80.
Again, it's Bortles. And incomplete. The contact made the ball roam free and brings up 4th down. Those passes out that far wide always make you hold your breath a little bit. Felt like it was in the air for a while.
What it does is it allows a defender to gain some ground, come from a long distance, and have a chance to affect the pass.
And the Jaguars send out their punter as he'll punt it away for the 4th time today. He's averaging just under 50 yards a punt as he gets this away. Out onto the field comes New Orleans. The crowd may be losing just a little bit of the edge after back-to-back punts.
They want some big plays. They want to see some offense. They want to see somebody break away, whether it's through the air or on the ground. Now it'll be interesting to see where the patience is on both sides. Each head coach, can you hang in there and not try and force something that could put your team in some jeopardy?
good yardage as he gets this one up to about the 23. Now they try the right side here. And he'll be brought down right at the 30 here. It's a 7-yard gain there, and it's good enough to move the chains.
So many teams want to throw the ball in this situation nowadays, but I love watching a team that has enough confidence to go ahead and run the football. In that situation, that's almost a tendency breaker.
So 1st and 10 now from the 30. First down, he'll drop to throw it. And that is caught on the right sideline, but out of bounds, says the line judge. The throw took him a little too far. It's 2nd down. So he's 3 for 7 throwing the football right now. Not an awful start, but also not the sharpest of starts.
No, I would agree with that. But if you're a confident quarterback and to play that position, you have to be. You just act like there's something wrong with the wind current. Or something wrong with the ball.
It is not you. Keep throwing. That timing usually develops.
Ball on the 30 as they come up 2nd and 10.
Here we go now. 3-19. 3-19.
He'll try again with the arm here on 2nd down. Jaguar pressure and a Jaguar sack. Kevin Dodd in there to drop him, and it'll be a loss of about 8.
Now, we talk about players blitzing all the time. I often laugh and sometimes call it just straight-ahead pursuit. What a running start right back to the backfield for him.
Yeah, it really didn't give anybody a chance to get up there and stop him.
No, I mean, that's really, really difficult. You're asking a whole lot anyway, but when he gets that kind of a start and comes through clean, oftentimes the advantage definitely goes to the defensive player.
Now on 3rd and long, they'll look to throw. Nowhere to go here. He lost the football. And he's going to lose yardage here back to the 12-yard line. Here's Thomas Morstead now, standing about a yard deep in his own end zone. He gets this one away, and boy, it's another boomer. A good kick, 49 yards, just 3 on the return. And out will come the offense as they take over. And out now comes Jacksonville as they get ready to go. These guys had to punt their last possession, and that's become too familiar of a refrain. Too many of these drives just wound up going nowhere.
But you know how in baseball, when the pitcher gets a base hit and he's on base, they bring his jacket out to him to keep him warm? A lot of times the punter goes to the sideline, puts on sweatpants or a wrap over his leg to keep it warm. He might need a massage from the trainer right now from all the work he's getting.
Omaha.
Bortles now on 1st down. Looking long for Westbrook. And it's intercepted. Picked up by Marcus Williams. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back.
when you're playing cover two, this is like a tag team for the safeties. Each of them gets a half-field responsibility. Their job, stay as deep as the deepest receiver in any zone, read the football, and go make a play. In this case, the free safety made the best play, an interception.
Now we'll see what Michael Thomas and the rest of the offense has in store here. Second quarter here, he has only one catch, but they have the lead. You got to think there's going to be more involved at some point.
That's what you would expect, but sometimes what defenses do to take away a player of his magnitude, it costs them in other areas. And right now, with them losing, they may have to change their focus, and maybe he will open. Up a little bit more as the game goes on.
Now, well, so far, just the single catch.
Here we go now. Green 39. Green 39.
Now they'll run it on the toss. And he'll get this up past the 5 to the 7-yard line. Calais Campbell on the stop.
And that run, that changes the whole mentality about the drive right there. They were starting on their own 2-yard line. They just wanted enough space to punt the football successfully. Now they're talking about putting together a drive.
Hurry up, here we go. Green 39. Green 39.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And an alley to run. And they work this out past the 25. That's good for 21 yards and a first down. 2 minutes to go here in the first half. Back with more from Jacksonville. Don't go anywhere. We'll be back after this. And we'll remind you that coming up at halftime, we'll join Jonathan Coachman and the gang in Orlando. Coach will have stats and scores from the early games going on here around the NFL.
Here we go now. Blue 90. Blue 90.
They'll look to throw now on first down. And the Jags get to him as down he goes. Telvin Smith coming hard on the blitz. He dumps him for a loss of 8.
Are you seeing what I'm seeing? That's 3 sacks now, and this team came into the game in the bottom 5 in the league in sacks.
Yeah, it's not been their bread and butter. I don't know, is a blind squirrel finding a nut, or is this something they can build on?
Well, they found some momentum. They found a crack in that offensive line, and they're putting it to good use.
And now the Jags defense deciding to call a timeout as they'll talk it over here before what will be an important third down. They'll run it now out of the gun. And he'll be brought down right at the 30 here. Now the Jags will use the second of their timeouts as they'll head to the sideline and talk over what to do next. So the defense had a chance to catch their breath, and now they're back out and ready. Here's Thomas Morstead now as he's on to punt for New Orleans. And he's been a busy man here in this first half as he gets it away. And out now comes Jacksonville as they get ready to go. Now, last time wasn't pretty. One play and an interception. We'll see if they can do better.
I want to see if they want to go ahead and throw the ball again now on this drive after what happened on the last one. Throw it on the first play. Give the quarterback some confidence.
See what happens.
Green 80.
Trying to shake off the interception from the last drive. He'll look to throw. And this one is incomplete. D.D. Westbrook, his intended receiver. And that'll bring up second down.
This defense has been very disruptive early on as they force another one to go awry.
Seems to be the front and the back end. Pass rush, they've been able to get home. And they're taking the ball away in coverage as well.
I love how you put it together. The front and back working in sync. Only way to play good defense.
So now 2nd and 10 after the incompletion on first down.
Green 80. Green 80.
Working from the gun, it's Bortles. And this time he's got the hook up. It's complete. They'll wind up getting 10 back as that sets him up for third down. These guys have punted 4 times already, and they're staring at a 5th, barring a conversion here on third down. Bortles going to try and throw on third down, and he couldn't hang on to it through the contact. Incomplete.
This team is not going to make it easy for you. They're a physical group, and we just saw it there on that play. He came in, made the contact, just as he's trying to haul it in.
And the Jaguars send out their punter as he's on for the 5th time here today. And he deserves a bronze leg as he gets this one away. A look at the running back, the man out of the backfield as he gears up to go again. He's already cruised past the 100-yard mark. We haven't even gone away for halftime yet.
He might not want halftime. All right, why cool off?
Keep everybody here.
Let's stay out on the field and keep going. But all that being said, everything is really working well for them. The play calling's been excellent. The blocking's been terrific. And obviously his vision and legs have hurdled him to this big number so far. We could be seeing something really special here.
And we'll see how much they give him the ball here. They'll come out throwing here to start the drive. Over the middle, that's caught by Meredith. So he got free of one tackle, but couldn't do a whole lot else. That throw good for 4. It's second down. Now they'll throw here out of the gun. Oh, nearly picked. And maybe lucky there. This guy doesn't drop many defensively. Third down.
Trying to get that one to his tight end, and they've been trying to get the ball to him, but as of yet, unable to successfully complete one. But you know there's usually a nice comfort zone in throwing to the tight end. Great sight lines, usually right in the middle of the field.
The Saints on third down, not good, 0 for 4 thus far. This will be 3rd and 6. They just do get the playoff as he'll look to throw. And this is going to be incomplete.
So it looked like they were getting ready to convert there on third down, but what an effort to get his hand on that one, knock it away, and brings up a 4th down decision.
Here's Thomas Morstead now. He's been terrific so far. Averaging over 50 yards a punt so far as this one's away. Officially, that'll go as a 52-yard punt. Not too shabby. And possession will switch hands, 1st and 10. Leonard Fournette making his way back out there. They haven't been able to get him on track. They haven't been able to get this offense on track. No points so far.
Maybe it's time to start doing a few different things. Throwing the ball a little bit, maybe featuring other people touching it for a while, and then you get a chance to come back to it when things have changed a little bit. They have to make an adjustment.
Now, still time for him here as we sit in the 2nd quarter. Just over 30 seconds to go in the half. They've got it 1st and 10. They begin with a run by Fournette, and they take him down, losing yardage back at the 27. It's a loss of 2 there, bringing up 2nd down.
That's a really alert defense there because they saw the heavy look come in from the offense, countered it with extra linebackers who brought a little bit of speed and heft, and able to really make a big-time play for their defense.
Green 80. Green is all right.
Now flags will come in. I think this one's going to be on the defense for jumping.
Encroachment, defense.
So they got him coming up from his linebacker spot.
And sometimes the position designation really doesn't matter. If you creep up to the line of scrimmage, you just have to look for the football. Make sure it moves before you do.
And the ball moved up here now to 2nd and 7 following the penalty.
Green 80.
A final shot before half for Bortles. Looking long for Westbrook. Into heavy traffic, and it's intercepted. Picked off at the 20. So we have reached halftime with the visiting Saints out on top. As we send you a couple hours south of here to Orlando, that's where we check in with a coach and our EA Sports halftime report.
All right, Brandon, thank you very much. More from you two in a minute, but first, let's take a spin around the NFL and see what's going on here in week number 10. We'll get started out in Texas, NRG Stadium in Houston. And it's the Texans who've got the lead in the 2nd quarter. Adam Humphries, a touchdown reception. From there, we're off to Tennessee to check on the Titans at home in Nashville. And they have the lead in that one over the visiting Indianapolis Colts. Taywan Taylor, a touchdown reception. Finally, we head to the shores of Lake Erie. See what's going on with the Cleveland Browns. And they've got the lead in their ball game over the visiting Cincinnati Bengals. Antonio Callaway, a touchdown reception. Meanwhile, in our game, it's been a defensive struggle. Which offense can break through in the 2nd half? To find out, let's hand it over to our broadcast team of Brandon Godden and Charles Davis.
All right, Coach, thank you, and we welcome everyone back for quarter number 3. Set now to go for the 3rd quarter. The Saints have the lead and set to receive the kick. This will be taken in at the 1. And he'll get it up to about the 26-yard line, just across the 25. Out come the Saints now. They'll go on offense first here to begin the 3rd quarter. And right now these guys, they're shuffling a little bit, maybe doubting, because 3 straight drives have ended with them punting the football away.
Yeah, so you start pointing fingers at each other a little bit, asking a lot of questions. What are you seeing? What are you getting? Maybe trying to narrow down your playbook a little bit and maybe get simpler rather than more complex in order to try and fashion together a drive.
And they'll go on the ground. And he's going to be taken down with a marker on the field. So let's see about the call.
Illegal block in the back. Offense.
So this will be accepted as it moves the offense backwards. Now a shotgun snap as they'll look to throw. And Josh Hill has it. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. He goes for 18 there as the drive will continue. Right after the turnover, they come out throwing.
And that means it's a sudden change situation. We used to practice it on defense. Sudden change, get out there, stop the offense. But you typically run out there a little bit unsettled. I think that's why he came right out throwing the football, hoping to catch him off balance.
And he did.
Hurry up, here we go. 3-19. 3-19.
They'll look to throw here on first down. He's going to find his running back. It's complete. And it coughed it up. And did the Jaguars come up with it? They did. A fumble lost last week. Now a fumble lost this week. Is this just growing pains of a rookie?
It is growing pains, but they can't afford them. Not him nor his team. That means extra work during the week with his coaching staff and extra work on his head to make sure he doesn't lose his confidence. They like him. They want him to flourish.
Because you know he wants to avoid that label of being a fumble machine.
It is a label that is hard to shed, and that just means teams come after you even more, ripping and raking at the football when you're carrying it.
So they need to determine if that knee was down before the ball was coughed up.
And they also wanted to make sure that the ball was possessed as they were going through, that the ball wasn't working its way free before the knee hit the ground.
After review of the play, the running on the field is reversed.
Back to throw. He throws and he hits the slant route to Thomas. And taking it across midfield and inside the 45. And the quick slant gets exactly 10, and by the nose of the football, they've got a first down.
This has to go down as one of the simpler routes in the playbook, but oh so effective. Nice completion there. Keeps the sticks moving.
Here we go now. Green 39. Green 39.
Now a handoff looking right. And he'll be brought down at about the 42. Just a yard on the pickup there, and it'll bring up a 2nd and 9.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, this big defensive lineman will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
They'll set up to throw. They shakes him off. But in the end, the pressure too great, and he goes down. Malik Jackson in there to pick up his second sack now of the afternoon.
We are seeing two really confident defenses imposing their will on these offenses in this game.
Yeah, absolutely, going toe for toe. Just curious if one of these offenses can wake up a little bit.
Is there any way they can find something that can pop, something big to knock them back on their heels?
The Saints on third down. A pretty woeful 0 for 5 thus far. This is 3rd and 17.
Lucky 56.
He'll drop to throw. And incomplete. The contact made the ball roam free and brings up 4th down.
Going with a dime look on defense. 2 extra defensive backs on the field and covered up essentially every blade of grass. That allowed them to disrupt the play.
Here's Thomas Morstead now as he's on to punt for New Orleans. Comes the Jags offense now. Time for their first possession of half number 2. They come out here with a 0 on the scoreboard. What was said in that locker room? That's what I want to know.
I would love to have been in there because we often have the feeling that there's a lot of shouting, screaming, people upset. But typically, halftime locker rooms are a lot more clinical than that. And in this case, are they upset that the plays weren't working because of execution? Or do they think they were just bad plays to call? Yeah. We'll find out pretty quickly here if they felt like they had something going, but they just need to do it a little bit better or not.
We'll find out. And he's going to be taken down shy of the 5-yard line. And now we'll get a timeout. Looks like we've got a Jaguar in some discomfort down there on the field. While the training staff works on him, we'll step aside and be right back.
Let's go. 380.
Now a first carry for LeGarrette. And he was able to shed the tackle, but the reserves come in for the stop. 4 yards on the pickup there as it'll leave him with a 3rd and about 4 more for a first.
And that's one of the reasons you like to blitz even on rundowns. It confuses the blocking assignments. It doesn't allow those offensive linemen to get up to the second level.
These guys have punted 4 times already, and they're staring at a 5th, barring a conversion here on 3rd down. From the gun on 3rd down, Bortles. And he couldn't hang on to it through the contact. Incomplete. Another drive comes and goes, still nothing on the scoreboard.
Yeah, and when the second half comes, you know, it's real easy to get discouraged and wonder if you're ever going to get things started. You just got to fight through it. Got to keep pounding away.
And the Jaguars send out their punter as they're forced to kick for the 6th time today. And taken right at the 35. A good return there. Call it 13 yards. And the offense will take over with a new set of downs. Out onto the field comes New Orleans. This crew had to punt last time they had the ball, but when you've got a lead like this, you content to play the field position game?
You are to an extent, especially if you like your defense, because you have the lead, you've been controlling the game. But why put them in a tougher spot? You want to get out there and get something done on offense and maybe take command of this game yourself.
A good starting spot for the Saints as they come up 1st and 10.
Here we go now. Blue 90. Blue 90.
They're going to look to throw. Pass incomplete. The tight end Josh Hill was the target. And it's 2nd down.
We've seen these defenses make enough opportunistic plays to keep this one low scoring. Flying around, making plays on the ball, and we see yet another errant throw as a result.
After the incomplete pass, here now is 2nd and 10.
All right, now, lucky 56. Lucky 56.
And they'll go with a ground attack here. And he's going to take this across midfield into Jacksonville territory. Barry Church, the strong safety, the one to get him down.
3rd quarter and you've got the lead. You're not ready to go into that 4-minute offense to close the game out, but a running game can really benefit your team right now.
The Saints on 3rd down. They're struggling. 0 for 6 thus far. This will be 3rd and 5.
Now let's go. Green 39. Green 39.
Back to throw here. Looking left side and completing it to Thomas. And he'll get it down here to the 43. They stop him for only 3 that time, and that'll bring up 4th down.
Whether you're playing West Coast offense or not, one of the maxims of the West Coast offense is you're either throwing a touchdown or a check down. In other words, look for the big shot, but be smart. I think they did exactly that on that play. They didn't get the 1st down, but they're taking care of the ball well.
Yeah, and being rightly cautious with that lead here in the 2nd half. That's on target, but it's no good. He had it online, but it came up just shy of the crossbar. And this score will stay right where it is.
Well, he's got a big leg, and when everything comes together, he can certainly hit from long range, but this one's going to come up just a little bit short. A very good effort, though.
Out comes the Jacksonville offense as they get set to take over here. These guys had to punt last time. It has not been a very fruitful game offensively thus far. They haven't even made a trip to the red zone. And
I know that everyone's going crazy on that sideline because that drives you berserk to come off the field, not really move the ball well. As you said, not even get to the red zone, let alone, not even put points on the board. They've got to just take a deep breath, relax, try and figure out what is working, and call more of that.
Here's Blow. And good penetration here. He'll get this down only to about the 49-yard line. Just a yard on the 1st down carry, so it's 2nd and 9.
I know the scouting report on him is that he doesn't possess the eye discipline to be an elite linebacker. And what that means is his ability to read, react, and make a play. But on that one, he looked like one of those guys.
And incomplete there. A nice hit. Jars the ball free and brings up 3rd down.
We've seen good cover skills on display throughout this game, really from both teams. And there's another nice example there of them making it difficult to complete a pass.
This offense in desperate need of a conversion as they come up on 3rd down.
Green 80. Green 80.
Throwing his Bortles on 3rd down. He's going to float this one deep right side. And it'll be intercepted. Picked off by Marshawn Lattimore. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back. Thought they had something going there to break that goose egg here in the 2nd half, but to no avail.
Hope was alive until that interception. What a terrific play, taking the ball away after it looked like they were starting a drive.
And now that shutout still standing. You know that's something those defensive guys hold a lot of pride on, too.
No doubt about it. They are excited about where they are in this game.
Getting set to go again as we look at the back, heading onto the field again. He's been a good workhorse. I know we use the word workhorse a lot, but he's been a good workhorse for him in this one.
No doubt about it, and there's nothing wrong with that. That's what you're looking for if you're a back, because that means everything's coming together for you. you. The big guys up front have created space. You've run through it. You've probably gotten some help even from the wide receivers who want to catch passes as opposed to block, but they're helping out too.
Yeah, now the pressure comes and he goes down. Just inside the 10, back at the 9. Calais Campbell in there to drop him for his 5th sack of the year.
Well, so much for setting the tone of the drive offensively. Giving up a big sack that loses that kind of yardage, not a great start.
They're in some hot water now. After that sack, it's 2nd and 21.
Here we go now. Blue 90. Blue 90.
From the shotgun, he'll look to throw. Throw left side, taken in by Meredith. Fighting his way through contact. That one good for 17 as they're set up better now for 3rd down.
Good throw, good catch, but I really like the route. The drag and being able to run away from defenders, hard to stick with them for that long.
Yeah, better against man than zone, or?
Better against man, because now you're running away from someone and you're not running into a defensive player in another zone.
The Saints on 3rd down, as bad as you can be. 0 for 7 thus far. Here it's 3rd and 3.
Hurry up, here we go. 3-19. 3-19. Detroit! Detroit!
They'll run it now out of the gun. And they will stop him after a fairly minimal pickup. Give him a couple on the run as it brings up a 4th down.
So many things go into making a good play on defense. In this situation, just not being blown out of the way was a big start, and then a nice tackle to finish things off.
Here's Thomas Morstead now as he's on to punt for New Orleans. First kick, 47. This one looks good as well. A well-hit ball there. 50 yards on the punt, 3 on the return. And out now comes Jacksonville as they get ready to go. And 3 interceptions in this game. And I would have to think, I wasn't a quarterback, but number 4 is kind of, oh, you're like, oh, man, I can't throw 4.
No, and what's interesting is, what do the coaches decide to do now? Having thrown 3, do you alter your offensive strategy? Do you take the ball out of his hands and maybe turn to the running game? Or do you have that supreme confidence that he's going to turn things around?
We'll see what they do. Trying to shake off the interception. He'll look to throw. He has still not connected on a single pass in this second half.
And right now they're going through all the different reasons, the whys, the wherefores. Bottom line, got to find some completions in there and get their offense moving.
From the 21, it's 2nd and 10. Bortles again here on 2nd and 10. And he comes back with one complete. And he's able to get up here to the 26. That catch good for 5. It's 3rd down.
And, partner, I think that's a great example that not all tight ends are created equal. Because everything was right. Got the completion, but he's not one of the more dynamic guys in the league. So even though he caught it, couldn't turn it into much more.
Going for his running back, and he's got him complete. And he will lose yardage and be backed up to the 24. He lost 2, and it brings up 4th. Really good defensive effort. They were all over that little swing pass out to the right side before lost yardage.
Terrific read, better execution, and done with a lot of enthusiasm, wasn't it?
Absolutely.
They saw it all the way, ran to the football, and caused a nice play for lost yardage.
And that is going to do it for this 3rd quarter of action. We'll return with more after this break. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports. Back now in Jacksonville as we are just about set to go here in quarter number 4. Good starting field position for them here as they come up 1st and 10. They'll try and start this drive in the air. Gets it to Meredith, complete. And he'll take it down shy of the 45 at the 46. A good pickup there. 8 yards on the first down completion.
Another nice pickup through the air, and I think a lot of people might expect them to run the ball in this situation, Brandon, but with this lead, they're electing to throw the football. Swings, slants, quick outs, things that they consider safe.
Out of the gun, they'll look to throw. Throw left side, taken in by Hill. The Saints on 3rd down. It has been a disaster. 0 for 8 thus far. This time they face a 3rd and 2.
Let's go!
And they'll go ground game here with the tailback. And he's got the first down yardage before he's brought down at the 42. It's a gain of 4 there, and it gives him a new set of downs. Now, I'm guessing you'd say this is kind of the key here. Grind out some yardage, work on that clock, see if you can continue to tick it down.
Definitely. You want to bleed things out at this point, right? Continue to possess the football, gain some yardage, and put the onus on the defense. Do they have to use timeouts? What are they going to do to stop you? You're taking charge.
Nice work to get 7 out of that, and it's 2nd down.
Partner, he was going through his progressions. Not there, not there. After about the 3rd one, he decided he better pull it down and run for it. And he slides down and avoids the hit for good measure.
Hurry up, here we go!
He'll look to throw. And a quick throw here, that's complete. And this time not quite to the 30. It'll be down at the 31-yard line. Only 3 there on the pickup, but that's enough to move the chains.
One thing you're hoping for when you run drag routes, you're able to hit a receiver in stride, and he can pick up a lot of yardage after the catch. But in this situation, the defense was effective, able to stop him before you get a good head of steam going.
And he's going to fight his way forward here for a modest gain. 5 yards is the tally on first down. That brings up 2nd and 5.
Oh, that's one to warm the hearts of all those old-school football players, isn't it? Tough, hard, gritty run, got behind his pads, bowled over a few people. Look at that one, right up the gut.
Saw it through 3 quarters, no reason to lighten up now. He'll look to throw. They complete it to Hill. And inside the 20 before he's brought down. Give him 10 yards there as this offense is on a roll. This drive continues to plunge forward.
One of the advantages of zone defense, as I remember it, is being able to see the play develop in front of you. One of the disadvantages, when they find those levels where they can hit you with it, sometimes behind the corner and in front of the safety, it makes it tough to defend.
So signs of life in what's been a dormant offense in this second half. Here's 1st and 10. Now they try the right side here. And able to push his way forward here for a good little gain. He'll get a nice chunk there on the first down run, and it's 2nd and 4. Looking to throw. And he will avoid the contact as he slides to a stop. 7 yards on the pickup there, and now they've got it 1st and goal. A good chance now to put this game on ice. This is 1st and goal. They'll come out in the pistol. They'll look to throw. In trouble, and he'll go down back at the 12. Yannick Ngakoue in there to drop him for his 5th sack of the year.
This has been a tough one for this offensive line. It appears almost like they've been on roller skates this entire game, the way they've been pushed around. 6 sacks given up in this one.
They'll try again on 2nd and goal after going backwards to the 12.
Now let's go. Green 39. Green 39.
They'll set up a throw. And he's got it. Touchdown, Saints. Cameron Meredith, his first touchdown on the year. And the Saints now add 6 to their lead.
Well, that's what I call an answer right there. They gave up a sack on the previous play. How about what they did to finish things off, turning it right back around?
That's the response, and that O-line feels a lot better now, don't they?
Yeah, without a doubt, because give up the sack on the previous play, that just hurts those guys because they never want to see their guy get hit.
Lutz to try to add the PAT. Lutz good on the extra point, and that makes our score 17-0. So that one a long 11-play drive, and it ends with a touchdown for New Orleans. Lutz now to kick this one away. Out comes the Jaguar offense now as they get set to take over. And with this deficit, you can't have too many more drives like the last drive where you had to punt it away.
You know what I would tell my offense right here? The punter doesn't exist, guys. He doesn't even exist. He's not a team anymore. I just cut him, all right? So you've got to go out and create some offense for us here and give us some points. No way does that guy get on the field on this drive.
Poor punter.
Yeah, it wasn't his fault. But, hey, listen, there's going to be casualties at times. We're trying to win a game.
And this will be incomplete. Another wayward pass. You know, things started out poorly in this game, and to be frank, they just really haven't gotten much better.
And all that does is embolden a secondary. They feel good about what's going on, and they just play better and better.
Green 80. Green 80. Green is good.
Bortles will try again on 2nd down. That is incomplete.
Okay, I'm not quite sure how to judge that one. Maybe didn't have enough legs underneath him. Mechanics might have been off. Maybe some fatigue. That one came up short.
Yeah, 4th quarter. Maybe you do start to watch as the arm there, the leg's still there. This has been a tough game. So back-to-back incompletions, and that has them staring at a 3rd and 10. Now Bortles. And that will be incomplete as well.
It was no secret who they were trying to get the football to.
Well, no, they went to him on 1st down, 2nd down, 3rd down, all 3 incomplete.
Yeah, and when you're unable to connect and you force it in that direction, all you're doing is giving confidence to the defense. They feel like they're really hurting you in a big way.
Green 80.
Now Bortles, got to have this one. And the Saints pressure gets him. Brought down for a sack. Demario Davis in there to sack him for a loss of 6. Here comes the field general leading his offense back out there for the next possession. And after a rough start, as we take a peek at the numbers, he's going in the right direction now.
So often when you see a game start the way we saw this one start for him, you just wonder if he's got a chance to bring it back at all, and that's exactly what he's done. Love seeing that happen simply because you know a guy has struggled, and now he's found a way to make things better. That's pretty good stuff right there.
And on the ground they go with the running back. And maybe a measure of revenge there. He's had his way in this one, but this time they get him behind the line. And when do they start thinking about burning these timeouts? They've got all three still defensively.
To me, you have to start right now. Here's the time, and that means you've got to stop them on defense, not give up the yardage, use your timeouts in order to get the ball back and try and score yourself. But now is the time to start using those timeouts.
And keep in mind, it'll also stop the clock at the 2-minute warning. After the loss to start out, here's 2nd and 11.
All right, here we go. Blue 90. Blue 90.
And they'll try the ground game here with the running back. And that play going absolutely nowhere as he's belted before he could get out of the backfield. Time for a break. We'll come back and see this one out after this. So it's Saints football as we get you reset. They've got a 3rd down now as they look for one more first down to help salt this one away. So time to start going in the other direction as they come up now 3rd and long.
Now let's go. Green 39. Green 39.
Now on 3rd and long, they'll look to throw. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Calais Campbell in there to get him, and that's sack number 6 for him on the year.
This offensive line flat out cannot handle this pass rush. We've seen it demonstrated time and time again to the tune of 7 sacks in this game thus far.
Now Lutz for the field goal try. From the right hash, this from 48. And Lutz's kick is good. And the lead now increases to 20-0. So it's 3 more points, and that widens this thing out even further here in the 4th.
And you know in this league, you can never have enough points, but this widens it out, as you said, and now it's all about ball control, isn't it?
Following the made field goal, Lutz to kick it away. And out now comes Jacksonville as they get ready to go. They're down big here late. I don't know. You just one last drive here for pride?
Some people like to do that. I remember playing for a guy once. We were down huge, and someone said, "Coach, what do you want to call?" He just waved a hand like, "Who cares? Let's get out of here and do something some other time." But some teams like to do something at the end to feel a little bit better as they continue to move forward.
Yeah, probably just want to put this one behind them. And he'll get it up to the 33-yard line. A good pickup there on first as the screen pass gets him 8. They're going to need to get up and set in a hurry. Bortles to throw on 2nd down. Finding a safety valve here. That's complete. And he'll be brought down shy of the 40 at the 38-yard line. It'll go as a gain of 6 that time, and it moves the chains as well. Now Bortles looking left side, and he's got a man. That's Sullivan. The completion good for 3, and it's 2nd down. That first down completion only netted him 3. 2nd and 7. Bortles going to throw. He's going to flip one out here to his running back. Now hold everything here. We're going to get a timeout by the offense. as they get it with 26 seconds to go in the football game. The Jaguars on third down. Not getting the job done at all. A very poor 1 for 10. This is 3rd and 7.
Green 80. Green 80.
Again, they'll throw with Bortles. Now he's hit, and Bortles fumble. It's loose. Now whistles come in. We're going to get a timeout here by the offense, as the clock will stop with 21 seconds to go in the football game. And they're indeed going to go for it here on 4th down. So trailing here in the last quarter. Let's see how this plays out.
Green 80.
Got to try it here. He's back to throw. Now a desperation throw deep downfield. And that is incomplete. 16 seconds now on the clock. They had to go for it with such little time remaining. And it would appear that the Saints are going to win this football game. So they tried to go for it for pride, but it really wouldn't have mattered. This one, it was already determined.
No doubt about it. This one was over a while ago.
From the 32 now, here's 1st and 10.
Now let's go. 319. 319.
Now a handoff looking right. Finding room to the 20. And he'll take this into the end zone. Now, hold on here. We do have a flag down. So let's see what this is about.
Holding offense.
So retract the yardage and retract the touchdown.
And retract the chunk play. Big strike there to get the touchdown. Now they've got to take it back and see if they've got another one still in their arsenal.
Here we go now. 319.
And they'll run it here. And he's going to fight his way forward here for a modest gain. 4 yards on the pickup. It'll be 2nd down.
When you find that kind of yardage, you couldn't be more confident as a ball carrier. And guess what? You're going to go back and tell your offensive coordinator, I'd like to keep carrying it, thank you.
The storyline in this one, Charles, no doubt the number 0. Zilch, nada. Shutout so hard to do in the NFL.
It really is, and what an accomplishment, because you feel that not just on the defensive side, but as a full team. There's a lot of pride that goes into shutting out an opponent. And how about that 0 on the scoreboard for them, going along with those zeros in the time column too.
So for New Orleans, the win will move them to 7-2 now on the year. And they'll get another road test next week as they head to Arizona to take on the Cardinals. Meanwhile, for Jacksonville, their season is on life support somewhat now at 3-6. And they'll be at home for one next week against the Oakland Raiders. And for Charles Davis and our entire crew, I'm Brandon Gaudin. You've been watching the NFL on EA Sports.
you.